Hi everybody, it's me and my again. And yesterday I read chapters 27 through 31 in Genesis. So today I'm going to start with chapter 22 in Genesis, the Amplified version, because I feel the Amplified really fleshes out the intent of the word. Okay, so chapter 32 of Genesis, Jacob's fear of Esau. Then, as Jacob went on his way, the angels of God met him to reassure and protect him. When Jacob saw them, he said, "This is God's camp." So he named that place Mahanaim, double camps, which means double camps. Then Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to his brother Esau in the land of Seir, the country of Edom. He commanded them, saying, "This is what to say to my lord Esau. Your servant Jacob says this: I have been living temporarily with Laban and have stayed there until now. I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, male servants, and female servants, and I have sent this message to tell my Lord, so that I may find grace and kindness in your sight." The messengers returned to Jacob, saying, "We went to your brother Esau, and now he is coming to meet you, and there are 400 men with him." Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people who were with him, and the flocks and herds and camels into two camps. And he said, "If Esau comes to the one camp and attacks it, then the other camp which is left will escape." Jacob said, "Oh, O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, the Lord who said to me, 'Return to your country and to your people, and I will make you prosper.' I am unworthy of all the loving kindness and compassion and of all the faithfulness which you have shown to your servant. With only my staff, long ago, I crossed over this Jordan, and now I have become blessed and increased into these two groups of people. Save me, please, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, that he will come and attack me and the mothers with the children. And you, Lord, said, 'I will certainly make you prosper and make your descendants as numerous as the sand of the sea, which is too great to be counted.'" So Jacob spent the night there. Then he selected a present for his brother Esau from the livestock he had acquired: 200 female goats, 20 male goats, 200 ewes, 20 rams, 30 milking camels with their colts, 40 cows, 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys, and 10 donkey colts. He put them into the care of his servants, every herd by itself, and said to his servants, "Go on ahead of me and put in an interval of space between the individual herds." Then he commanded the one in front, saying, "When Esau my brother meets you and asks to whom you belong and where you are going and whose are the animals in front of you, then you shall say, 'They are your servant Jacob's. They are gifts sent to my lord Esau, and he also is behind us.'" And so Jacob commanded the second and the third as well, and all that followed the herd, saying, "This is what you shall say to Esau when you meet him. And you shall say, 'Look, your servant Jacob is behind us.' For he said to himself, 'I will try to appease him with the gift that is going ahead of me. Then afterward I will see him. Perhaps he will accept and forgive me.' So the gift of the herds of livestock went on ahead of him, and he himself spent the night back in the camp. But he got up that same night and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 children, and waded over the ford of the Jabbok. Then he took them and sent them across the brook, and he also sent across whatever he had. Jacob wrestles. So Jacob was left alone, and a man came and wrestled with him until daybreak. When the man saw that he had not prevailed against Jacob, he touched his hip joint, and Jacob's hip was dislocated as he wrestled with him. Then he said, "Let me go, for day is breaking." But Jacob said, "I will not let you go unless you declare a blessing on me." So he asked him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Jacob." And he said, Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men and have prevailed. Then Jacob asked him, Please tell me your name. But he said, Why is it that you ask my name? And he declared a blessing of the covenant promises on Jacob there. So Jacob named the place Peniel, which means the face of God, saying, For I have seen God face to face, yet my life has not been snatched away. Now the sun rose on him, and he passed Peniel, and he was limping because of his hip. Therefore, to this day, the Israelites do not eat the tendon of the hip, which is on the socket of the thigh, because he touched the socket of Jacob's thigh by the tendon of the hip. Okay, so now I'm in the footnotes trying to find something juicy there for you. Okay. Okay. So let's see, Genesis 32:2, Genesis 32:2, all the way at the top. Okay, so when Jacob saw them, he said, this is so when Jacob, saw the angels, it says, Then as Jacob went on his way, the angels of God met him to reassure and protect him. Then Jacob saw them. He said, This is God's camp. So he named the place Mahanaim, or double camps. And it says down here in the footnotes, Jacob may have been referring to the angels as another camp, along with his own, and viewing their presence as evidence of divine protection. This was Jacob's second encounter with the angels of God. He viewed the angels as a camp, and then his group of people, he viewed them as a camp, so double camps. Okay, then let's see. So when Jacob wrestles, and he saw the man coming toward him, he wrestles with the man all night long, and the man is not able to prevail against him. It's saying down here in the footnotes, this was God himself, as Jacob eventually realizes, in the form of an angel. Okay? And Israel says, is he who strives with God, or God strives. Okay, on to chapter 33. Okay, Jacob meets Esau. Then Jacob looked up and saw Esau coming with 400 men. So he divided the children among Leah and Rachel and the two maids. He put the maids and their children in the front, Leah and her children after them, and Rachel and Joseph last of all. Then Jacob crossed over the stream ahead of them and bowed himself. Then Jacob crossed over the stream ahead of them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times, bowing and moving forward each time until he approached his brother. But Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and hugged his neck and kissed him, and they wept for joy. So Esau looked up and saw the woman and the children and said, Who are these with you? So Jacob replied, These are the children whom God has graciously given your servant. Then the maids approached with their children, and they bowed down. Leah also approached with her children, and they bowed down. Afterward, Joseph and Rachel approached, and they bowed down. Esau asked, What do you mean by all this company which I have met? And he answered, These are to find favor in the sight of my Lord. But Esau said, I have plenty, my brother. Keep what you have for yourself. Jacob replied, No, please. If now I have found favor in your sight, then accept my gift as a blessing from my hand. For I see your face as if I have seen the face of God, and you have received me favorably. Please accept my blessing or gift, which has been brought to you, for God has dealt graciously with me, and I have everything that I could possibly want. So Jacob kept urging him, and Esau accepted it. Then Jacob said, Let us get started on our journey, and I will go in front of you to lead the way. But Jacob replied, You know, my Lord, that the children are frail and need gentle care, and the nursing flocks and herds with young are of concern to me. for if the men should drive them hard for a single day, all the flocks will die. Please let my Lord go on ahead of his servant, and I will move on slowly, governed by the pace of the livestock that are in front of me, and according to the endurance of the children, until I come to my Lord in Seir or Edom. Then Esau said, Please let me leave with you some of the people who are with me. But Jacob said, What need is there for it? Let me find favor in the sight of my Lord. So Esau turned back toward the south that day on his way to Seir. But Jacob journeyed north to Succoth and built himself a house and made shelters for his livestock. So the name of the place is Succoth, or huts or shelters. Jacob settles in Shechem. When Jacob came from Padan Aram, he arrived safely and in peace at the city of Shechem in the land of Canaan, and camped in front of the walled city. Then he bought the piece of land on which he had pitched his tents from the sons of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of silver. There he erected an altar and called it Elohi Israel. Okay, so I'm down in the footnotes. Okay, so basically it says what I think we gather from this. It says Jacob must have been concerned about traveling through Edom and used this excuse to avoid following Esau to Seir. Indeed, he heads in the opposite direction. I always got the feeling that was because, he was really afraid of his brother and afraid of possibly of his brother's retribution. But they had a beautiful reunion, But yeah, I mean, he did his brother so dirty, and he knew what he deserved. So I get it, Let's see. Okay, and down here at the end, when he erected an altar and called it Elohi Israel, that means God, the mighty God of Israel. Okay, and I think I pronounced it right. I'm not sure. Okay, so chapter 34 of Genesis, the treachery of Jacob's sons. Now Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she had borne to Jacob, went out unescorted to visit the girls of the land. When Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince or sheik of the land, saw her, he kidnapped her and lay intimately with her by force, humbling and offending her. But his soul longed for and clung to Dinah, daughter of Jacob, and he loved the girl and spoke comfortingly to her young heart's wishes. So Shechem said to his father Hamor, Get me this young woman as my wife. Now Jacob heard that Shechem had defiled or violated Dinah, his daughter. But his sons were in the field with his livestock. So Jacob said nothing until they came in. But Shechem's father Hamor went to Jacob to talk with him. Now when Jacob's sons heard of it, they came in from the field. They were deeply grieved, and they were very angry, for Shechem had done a disgraceful thing to Israel by lying with Jacob's daughter, for such a thing is not to be done. But Hamor conferred with them, saying, The soul of my son Shechem deeply longs for your daughter and sister. Please give her to him as a wife, and beyond that intermarry with us. Give your daughters to us as wives, and take our daughters for yourselves. In this way you shall live with us. The country will be open to you. Live and do business in it, and acquire property and possessions in it. Shechem also said to Dinah's father and to her brothers, Let me find favor in your sight, and I will give you whatever you ask of me. Demand of me a very large bridal payment and gift as compensation for your daughter, for giving up your daughter and sister, and I will give you whatever you tell me. Only give me the girl to be my wife. Jacob's sons answered Shechem and Hamor, his father, deceitfully, because Shechem had defiled and disgraced their sister Dinah. They said to them, We cannot do this thing and give our sister in marriage to one who is not circumcised, because that would be a disgrace to us. But we will consent to you only on this condition: if you will become like us, and every male among you consents to be circumcised, then we will give our daughters to you in marriage, and we will take your daughters for ourselves, and we will live with you and become one people. But if you do not listen to us and refuse to be circumcised, then we will take our daughter Dinah and go. Their words seemed reasonable to Hamor and his son Shechem, and the young man did not hesitate to do the required thing, for he was delighted with Jacob's daughter. Now he was more respected and honored than all others in the household of his father. Then Hamor and Shechem his son came to the gate of their walled city where the leading men would meet, and spoke with men of the city, saying, These men are peaceful and friendly with us, so let them live in the land and do business in it, for the land is large enough for us and for them. Let us take their daughters for wives, and let us give them our daughters in marriage. But only on this condition will the men consent to our request, that they live among us and become one people, that every male among us become circumcised, just as they are circumcised. Will not their cattle and their possessions and all their animals be ours if we do this? Let us consent to do as they ask, and they will live here with us. And every Canaanite man who went out of the city gate listened and considered what Hamor and Shechem said, and every male who was a resident of that city was circumcised. Now on the third day after the circumcision, when all the men were terribly sore in pain, two of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's full brothers, took their swords boldly into the city without anyone suspecting them of evil, and they killed every male. They killed Hamor and his son Shechem with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house where she was staying, and left. Then Jacob's other sons came upon those who were killed and looted the town, because their sister had been defiled and disgraced. They took the Canaanites' flocks and their herds and their donkeys and whatever was in the city and in the field. They looted all their wealth and took captive all their children and their wives, even everything that was in the houses. Then Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, You have ruined me, making me a stench to the inhabitants of the land. The Canaanites and the Perizzites, my men are few in number, and the men of the land will band together against me and attack me. I shall be destroyed, I and my household. But they said, Should he be permitted to treat our sister as a prostitute? Okay. Well, yeah, that's a tricky thing. Well, let me go down to the footnotes before I make any commentary. Okay, so it says Genesis 34:7, verse 7. Now when Jacob's sons heard of it, they came in from the field. They were deeply grieved that they were very angry, for Shechem had done a disgraceful thing to Israel by lying with Jacob's daughter. So let me go back down to the footnotes. It says the use of the word Israel implies that the family of Israel or Jacob was developing into a distinct people or nation. They are recognized by Pharaoh as a separate nation in Exodus 1:9. Okay. But it's interesting up here somewhere in all this, it says that Jacob and his sons dealt with Hamor and Shechem deceitfully when they told him, you have to get circumcised. It says Jacob and his sons. But it's interesting down at the bottom when his sons go and, kill everybody and take everything out of the city. He says, You have ruined me. So, so it sounds like only his sons are being deceitful. And understandably so, but I agree with Jacob. It wasn't necessarily a smart move either. Okay. That's why you have to be ruled by your thoughts and not your emotions, right? And not even so much even ruled as much by your thoughts, but, you have to, in all things, go to God and let God guide you, and make sure that whatever you feel like God is laying on your heart is in line with the word. Because if it's not, then that's probably just you, not God, right? Okay, so Jacob moves to Bethel. Then, okay, chapter 35, Jacob moves to Bethel. Then God said to Jacob, go up to Bethel and live there, and make an altar there to God, who appeared to you in a distinct manifestation when you fled years ago from Esau your brother. Then Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, get rid of the idols and images, foreign gods that are among you, and ceremonially purify yourselves and change into fresh clothes. Then let us go up to Bethel, and I will make an altar there to God, who answered me in the day of my distress and has been with me wherever I have gone. So they gave Jacob all the idols and images there of the foreign gods they had, and the rings which were in their ears, worn as charms against evil. And Jacob buried them under the oak tree near Shechem. As they journeyed, there was a great supernatural terror sent from God on the cities around him, and for that reason the Canaanites did not pursue the sons of Jacob. So Jacob came to Luz, that is Bethel, which is in the land of Canaan, he and all the people who were with him. There he built an altar to worship the Lord, and called the place El Bethel, or God of the house of God, because there God had revealed himself to him when he escaped from his brother. Now Deborah, who once was Rebekah's nurse, died and was buried below Bethel under the oak tree, and the name of it was called Alon Bakuth, oak of weeping. Jacob is named in Israel. So before I go on, yeah, it's interesting. It was definitely time to leave that place after they had done what they did. And it's interesting. I mean, Jacob believed, was faithful to God, but at that time Israel was becoming a nation, a great people. And so I guess some of them, just like in any situation, some of them were, messing with false gods. Some of them were, you know. So anyhow, where was I? Okay, as they journeyed, there was a great. No, sorry, no. Okay, Jacob is named Israel. Then God, in a visible manifestation, appeared to Jacob again when he came out of Padan Aram and declared a blessing on him. Again, God said to him, your name is Jacob. You shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel shall be your name. So he was called Israel, and God said to him, I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall come from you, and kings shall be born of your loins. The land which I gave Abraham and Isaac I will give to you, and to your descendants after you I will give the land. Then God ascended from Jacob in the place where he had spoken with him. Jacob set up a pillar or memorial or monument in the place where he talked with God, a pillar of stone, and he poured a drink offering of wine on it. He also poured oil on it to declare it sacred for God's purpose. So Jacob named the place where God had spoken with him Bethel, the house of God. Then they journeyed from Bethel, and when there was still some distance to go to Ephrath, Bethlehem, Rachel began to give birth and had difficulty and suffered severely. When she was in hard labor, the midwife said to her, do not be afraid, you now have another son. And as her soul was departing, for she died, she named him Ben-Oni, son of my sorrow. But his father called him Benjamin, son of the right hand. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. Jacob set a pillar or memorial or monument on her grave, that is the pillar of Rachel's grave to this day. Then Israel, or Jacob, journeyed on and pitched his tent on the other side of the Tower of Eder, the lookout point used by shepherds. While Israel was living in that land, Reuben, his eldest son, went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard about it. Yep, Reuben was being nasty, right? The sons of Israel. Now Jacob had 12 sons. The sons of Leah were Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, then Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. And the sons of Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin. And the sons of Bilhah, Rachel's maid, Dan and Naphtali. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's maid, Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob born to him in Padan Aram. Jacob came to Isaac his father at Mamre, or of Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had lived temporarily. Now the days of Isaac were 180 years. Wow. Isaac's spirit departed, and he died and was gathered to his people who had preceded him in death, an old man full of days, satisfied, fulfilled. His sons Esau and Jacob buried him in the cave of Machpelah with his parents Abraham and Sarah. Okay, I'm down in the footnotes. Okay. Okay, moving on to Genesis 36. Okay. Esau moves. Now these are the records of the descendants of Esau, that is Edom. Esau took his 3 wives from the daughters of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Oholibamah, the daughter of Anah, the son of Zibeon the Hivite, and Basemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebaioth. Adah bore Eliphaz to Esau, Basemath bore Reuel, and Oholibamah bore Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau born to him in Canaan. Now Esau took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the members of his household and his livestock and all his cattle and all his possessions which he had acquired in the land of Canaan, and he went to a land away from his brother Jacob, for their great flocks and herds and possessions had made it impossible for them to live together in the same region. The land in which they lived temporarily could not support them because of their livestock. So Esau lived in the hill country of Seir. Esau is Edom. Descendants of Esau. These are the records of the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, in the hill country of Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Adah, Esau's wife, and Reuel, the son of Basemath, Esau's wife. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz. And Timnah was a concubine of Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bore Amalek to Eliphaz. These are the sons of Reuel, Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, Mizah. These are the sons of Basemath, Esau's wife, and these are the sons of Oholibamah, Esau's wife, the daughter of Anah, the son of Zibeon. She bore to Esau Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These are the tribal chiefs of the sons of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn of Esau, chiefs: Teman, Omar, Zepho, Kenaz, Korah, Gatam, and Amalek. These are the chiefs of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. They are the sons of Adah. These are the sons of Reuel, Esau's son, chiefs: Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, Mizah. These are the chiefs of Reuel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Basemath, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Oholibamah, Esau's wife, chiefs: Jeush, Jalam, Korah. These are the chiefs born of Oholibamah, daughter of Anah, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Esau, that is Edom, and these are their chiefs. These are the sons of Seir, the Horite, the inhabitants of the land: Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anah, Dishon, Ezer, Dishan. These are the chiefs of the Horites, the sons of Seir, in the land of Edom, the sons of Lotan, and Hori, and Hemam, and Lotan's sister is Timnah. The sons of Shobal are these: Alvan, Manahath, Ebal, Shipho, and Onam. These are the sons of Zibeon, Ea, and Anna. This is the Anna who found the hot springs in the wilderness as he pastured the donkeys of Zibeon his father. The children of Anna are these: Dishon, Aholibama, Esau's wife, the daughter of Anna. These are the sons of Dishon: Hemdan, Eshban, Ithran, Chiran. Ezer's sons are these: Bilhan, Zaavan, Akan. The sons of Dishan and are these: Uz, and Aaron. The Horite chiefs are these: chiefs Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishon, Ezer, Dishan. These are the Horite chiefs according to their various clans in the land of Seir. And these are the kings who reigned in the land of Edom, before any king reigned over the Israelites. Bela, the son of Beor, reigned in Edom, and the name of his city was Dinhaba. Now Bela died, and Jobab, the son of Zerah of Basra, reigned as his successor. Then Jobab died, and Husham of the land of the Timonites reigned as his successor. And Husham died, and Hadad, the son of Bedad, who defeated Midian in the country of Moab, reigned as his successor. The name of his walled city was Avith. Hadad died, and Samlah of Masrekah succeeded him. Then Samlah died, and Shaul of Rehoboth on the river Euphrates reigned as his successor. Baal Hanan, the son of Akbor, died, and there Hadar reigned as his successor. His walled city was Paul. His wife's name was Mehetabel, and the daughter of Matred, the daughter of Mezahab. And these are the names of the tribal chiefs of Esau according to their families and places of residence, by their names: chiefs Timnah, Alva, Jetheth, Aholibama, Elah, Pinon, Kenaz, Timan, and Mibzar, Magdiel, and Iram. These are the tribal chiefs of Edom, that is, of Esau the father of the Edomites, according to their dwelling places in the land of their possession. Whew, that was a whole lot of begats just there. Okay, let's see what's going on in chapter 37. Okay, so chapter 37 is another story within Genesis, so I'm going to stop. So that means I just read from 32 through 36. So anyhow, thank you for listening, and God bless you, and have a wonderful day.